Welcome to the Ventis MX4 online training module number 6. In this module, we will be discussing the different configuration options within the instrument. Through the configuration screen, the user can configure the instrument to their needs, including the display, alarms, calibration, and other instrument functions. Adding these features that are beneficial to their mission is the function of the configuration screens. The Ventis MX4 has 26 different options that allow customization of your instrument settings. Knowing the function of each screen and how to access the different options is very important for the user. To access the configuration menu, if the Ventis MX4 is on, it must be turned off by pressing and holding the on-off mode button for 5 seconds. Once the instrument is off, hold the on-off mode button for 3 seconds and release to turn the instrument back on. The instrument will go through a warm-up screen. The first screen is the display check screen. Next, the instrument will initialize, and the pump will start if a pump is attached and detected. The next is the instrument software screen, and then a countdown screen. This is the countdown screen. The instrument will begin a countdown from 20. If the user waits for completion of the countdown, the real-time operation screen will be displayed. To enter the configuration menu, during the countdown, the user must press and hold the on-off mode button and the enter button simultaneously for 3 seconds. If the instrument has a security code entered in its memory, the user must enter a 3-digit code before they can access the configuration screen. If a security code is not programmed, then the access into configuration mode will be automatic. The first screen in the configuration menu is the Gas LEL screen. The user can now page through the 26 different options of the Ventis MX4 by pressing the on-off mode button. Pressing the enter button from the Gas LEL screen will toggle the instrument from Gas LEL and Gas CH4. This allows the user to select combustible gas readings displayed in % LEL or % by volume methane. Pressing the mode button will enter the option the user prefers. Once the mode button has been pressed, this will take the user to the next screen, which is the 0 screen. The 0 screen has a 0 icon at the top of the display. Pressing the enter button will start the zeroing process. The user will know the zeroing process has started by seeing the flashing clock icon next to the 0 icon. Upon completion of zeroing, a check mark will be displayed in the upper left corner of the display showing the zeroing has passed. Pressing the mode button will take the user to the next screen in the configuration mode, which is the Calibration Option screen. Pressing the enter button will toggle the display between Cal 0 and Cal 1 screens. Cal 0 sets the instrument to calibrate with standard calibration. Cal 1 sets the instrument to calibrate with the quick calibration. Pressing the mode button will select the option the user prefers. Once the mode button has been pressed, it will take the user to the next screen, which is the low alarm set point screen. Notice the low alarm icon in the upper display. This screen allows the user to change the low alarms for the Ventis MX4. If the user wishes to change the low alarms, press the enter button and the first low alarm value will start flashing. Pressing the enter button will change the low alarm set point to a desired value for the first gas. This slide shows changing the low alarm set point for hydrogen sulfide from 10 to 15. Pressing the mode button will enter that set point. After pressing the mode button, the set point for the next gas low alarm will begin flashing. Pressing the Enter button will allow the user to set the low alarm set point for the combustible gas. Once that value is set, press the Mode button to save that value. Continue this process for the remaining low alarm settings you wish to change. Upon completion of setting all low alarm set points, pressing the Mode button once will take the user to the next screen. This is the High Alarm Screen. Notice the High Alarm icon in the upper display. This screen allows the user to change the high alarms for the Ventis MX4. If the user wishes to change the high alarms, press the Enter button and the first high alarm values will start flashing. This slide shows changing the high alarm set point for hydrogen sulfide from 20 to 25. Once the value is set, press the Mode button to enter that value. Pressing the Enter button will change the high alarm set point for the next gas that is flashing. Pressing the Mode button will enter that set point. Then continue that same process for the remaining high alarm set points you wish to change. Upon completion of setting all high alarm set points, pressing the Mode button once will take the user to the next screen. This is the TWA Alarm Screen. Notice the TWA icon in the lower display. This screen allows the user to change the TWA alarms for the Ventis MX4. If the user wishes to change the TWA alarms, press the Enter button and the first TWA alarm values will start flashing. Pressing the Enter button will change the TWA alarm set point to the desired value for the first gas. This slide shows changing the TWA alarm set point for hydrogen sulfide gas from 10 to 11. Pressing the Mode button will enter that set point. After pressing the Mode button, the set point for the next gas's TWA alarm will begin flashing. Press the Enter button will allow the user to set the TWA alarm set point for carbon monoxide gas. Then press the Mode button to enter that value. Upon completion of all settings of TWA alarm set points, pressing the Mode button once will take the user to the next screen. This is the TWA Time Interval screen. Notice the TWA icon in the lower display and the clock icon in the upper display. This screen allows the user to change the TWA time interval for the Ventis MX4. The TWA time interval is factory set at 8 hours. Pressing the Enter button will change the TWA time interval. The interval set point can be set from 0 hours to 40 hours. Pressing the Mode button will enter that set point. Upon completion of setting the TWA time interval, this will take the user to the next screen. This is the STEL alarm set point. Notice the STEL icon in the lower display and the two arrows in the upper display. This screen allows the user to change the STEL alarms for the Ventis MX4. If the user wishes to change the STEL alarms, press the Enter button and the first STEL alarm set point will start flashing. Pressing the Enter button will change the STEL alarm set point to the desired value for the first gas. This slide shows changing the STEL alarm set point for the hydrogen sulfide gas from 15 to 10. Pressing the Mode button will enter that set point. After pressing the Mode button, the set point for the next gas's STEL alarm will begin flashing. Press the Enter button will allow the user to set the STEL alarm set point for carbon monoxide gas. Upon completion of setting the STEL alarm set point, pressing the Mode button once will take the user to the next screen. This is the Calibration Gas Screen. Notice the Calibration Gas icon in the upper display. This screen allows the user to change the calibration gas value to match the concentration that is in your bottle of calibration gas. If the user wishes to change the calibration gas values, press the Enter button and the first gas's calibration gas values will start flashing. Pressing the Enter button will change the calibration gas to the desired value for the first gas. This slide shows changing the calibration gas value for hydrogen sulfide gas to 35. Pressing the Mode button will enter that value. After pressing the Mode button, the calibration gas value for the next gas will begin flashing. Continue this process for the remaining calibration gas values you wish to change. Upon completion of setting all calibration gas values, pressing the Mode button once will take the user to the next screen. This is the clock set screen. Notice the clock icon at the top of the display. This screen allows the user to change the time in the Ventis MX4. The clock in the Ventis MX4 is displayed in 24 hours. If the user wishes to change the time, press the Enter button and the hours digit will start flashing. Press the Enter button to change the hours. As you can see here, the hours have been changed from 5 to 9. Once the hours are adjusted correctly, press the Mode button to save that setting. The minutes digit will then start flashing. Pressing the Enter button will allow the user to change the minutes value. Once the minutes digits are set, pressing the Mode button will set the time in the Ventis MX4. Upon completion of setting the time, pressing the Mode button once will take the user to the next screen. This is the Date Set screen. Notice the month icon in the upper display. This screen allows the user to set the correct date in the Ventis MX4. If the user wishes to change the date, press the Enter button and the years digit will start flashing. Pressing the Enter button to change the value to the correct year. Here we change the year from 2006 to 2010. Press the Mode button to save that year. The month digit will start flashing, allowing the user to change the month. Press the Enter button to change the value to the correct month. Then press the Mode button to save that month. Then the days digit will start flashing, allowing the user to change the day of the month. Pressing the Enter button will change the days digit. Once the days are correct, pressing the Mode button will enter that date into the Ventis MX4. Upon completion of setting the date, pressing the Mode button once will take the user to the next screen. This is the Display Set screen. This allows the user to set the display type they would like for the Ventis MX4. Pressing the Enter button will allow the user to toggle between DIS-0 and DIS-1. DIS-0 is to set your instrument's display to read numeric. DIS-1 is to set your instrument to display in text. Pressing the Mode button will select which display the user prefers. Upon completion of setting the display, the next screen will be displayed, which is the confidence indicator screen. This screen allows the user to enable or disable a confidence indication on a Ventis MX4. By pressing the Enter button, the display will toggle between C0 and the C1 screen. C0 is to disable your confidence indicator. C1 is to enable your confidence indicator. Pressing the Mode button on either of these screens allows the user to set the confidence indicator on or off. If the user chooses to enable the confidence indicator, the option to select the type of confidence indication will be displayed next by pressing the Mode button. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to toggle between CT0 and CT1 screens. CT0 is enabling the audible type indication every 90 seconds. CT1 screen is enabling the LED type indication every 90 seconds. Pressing the Mode button on the desired option will select the user's preference. The next screen displayed will be the Bump Test Option screen. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to toggle between BT0 screen and the BT1 screen. BT0 is to disable your bump test feature. BT1 is to enable your bump test feature. Pressing the Mode button on either option allows the bump test feature to be either on or off. If the user enabled the bump test feature, the bump test due warning will be then the next screen displayed. Notice the BT and calibration gas cylinder icons in the upper display. This screen allows the user to set up a warning if the bump test is not completed. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to toggle between BT0 and BT1. The BT0 screen allows the bump test warning to be disabled. The BT1 screen allows the warning to be enabled. Pressing the Mode button allows the user to turn the bump test warning on or off. The next screen to be displayed is the Bump Test Time Set Point screen. This allows the user to set the day requirements for a bump test. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to change the value in days from a half a day to 7 days in half-day increments. Pressing the Mode button allows the user to enter that value which is desired. After setting the bump test set point, pressing the Mode button once will display the bump test percentage requirement screen. This screen allows the user to set the percentage requirement for a bump test. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to set the percentage requirement from 50 to 99% in 1% increments. Pressing the Mode button on the desired value selects that percentage. After setting the percentage requirement, pressing the Mode button once will display the bump test response time screen. This allows the user to set the response time for a bump test. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to set the response time requirement from 30 seconds to 300 seconds in increments of 5 seconds. Pressing the Mode button on desired value will select the response time. What these settings are doing is during a menu-driven bump test, the instrument is looking for 50% of the calibration gas within 45 seconds. And if the instrument does not see the gas within 45 seconds, then the instrument will fail the bump test. After setting the response time, pressing the Mode button will display the alarm latch screen. This allows the user to set the alarms latching or unlatching. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to toggle between LAT0 and LAT1 screens. LAT0 is the normal unlatched mode. LAT1 is the latched mode. Pressing the Mode button allows the user to turn the latch option on or off. The next screen displayed is the Zero Lock mode. This allows the user to zero the instrument in the field. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to toggle between 0 and 1. Entering a 0 in this mode disables zeroing the instrument in the field. Entering a 1 in this mode enables zeroing the instrument in the field. Pressing the Mode button allows the user to turn the zeroing in the field on or off. The next screen displayed is the Calibration Lock mode. This screen allows the user to calibrate the instrument in the field. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to toggle between 0 and 1. Entering a 0 in this mode disables the calibration of the instrument in the field. Entering a 1 in this mode enables the calibration of the instrument in the field. Pressing the mode button allows the user to turn the calibration on or off in the field. The next screen displayed is the Calibration Due Alarm Screen. This screen allows the user to select an alarm notification when calibration is overdue. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to toggle between 0 and 1. Entering a 0 disables the Calibration Due Alarm. Entering a 1 will enable the Calibration Due Alarm. Pressing the Mode button allows the user to turn the Calibration Due Alarm on or off. The next screen displayed is the Calibration Due Set Point screen. This screen allows the user to set the required frequency of calibration in days. The set point can be adjusted from 1 day to 365 days by pressing the Enter button. The default setting is 30 days. Once the desired day is set, pressing the Mode button will enter that value. The next screen displayed is the Code Set screen. This screen allows the user to set the 3-digit access code that must be entered before entering in the configuration mode. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to set a 3-digit code from 001 to 999. Pressing the Mode button on the desired code will lock in that number. This number will then be required to be entered before accessing the configuration menu. This example shows a code entered of 100. Pressing the Mode button once will display this screen. This is the Language Option screen, allowing the user to select the preferred language. Pressing the Enter button allows the user to page through the 3 language options. LANE is for English. LANF is for French. LAND is for German. Once the user has selected the desired language option, press the Mode button to enter that language option. We are now going to review the configuration screens. The combustible displays in % by volume or % LEL. The zero screen allows the user to zero in fresh air. Calibration allows for standard or quick calibration. Low alarm allows setting of the low alarm. High alarm allows setting of high alarm. TWA alarm allows setting of TWA alarms. TWA interval changes the interval value for your TWA. STEL alarm changes the STEL alarm value. Calibration gas sets the calibration gas value to match your calibration gas cylinder. Clock set allows setting of the instrument time. Date set allows setting of instrument date. Display mode allows showing display in text or numeric. Confidence indicator allows for turning on or off a confidence indication. Confidence indication type allows for setting a speaker or LED type indication. Bump test in a field allows bump test by the user. Bump due warning informs the user a bump test is due. Bump test time set point sets how often a bump test should be performed. Bump test percentage sets the percentage of bump gas the instrument is looking for within a particular time. Bump test response time sets how long the instrument will wait to see a percentage of the bump gas. Alarm latch allows for latching or unlatching the alarms. Zero in the field allows the user to zero the instrument. Calibration in field allows the user to calibrate the instrument. Calibration Due Alarm informs the user if calibration is due. Calibration Set Point sets the interval when calibration is due. Code Set sets a security code before entry into configuration mode. And language selection allows for selecting of 3 different languages.